Super Smash Bros. Is easily right behind Pokemon as my favorite video game franchise. It has a great replay value, so much content, and is a great multiplayer blast. And when you think of Smash Bros., you think of the characters. So here, I'm going to count down not 10, not 15, not even 20, but my top 30 favorite Super Smash Bros. Characters. I'll be ranking these characters by their moveset, originality, how much fun I have using them, and just how cool they are. Also, I will not be taking the tier list into account. Anyway, let's start this list! Since the Zelda series is Nintendo's third best-selling franchise, it makes sense that the protagonist of this franchise, Link, should be in Smash Bros. Link has appeared in every Smash Bros. Game. He uses the Master Sword for a majority of his attacks, but he has some other items to help him out. He uses the Hero's Bow, Boomerang, and Bombs for some of his specials. In the original Smash Bros. Game, he was like freaking amazing. He was so good, in fact, that I decided to main him. Then he was nerfed due to the balancing in Melee and Brawl. Due to there being many more sword fighters that I preferred, like Roy and Marth, I didn't play as him that much. I feel the same way in Brawl, but it was with some other characters. At least got an awesome Final Smash. But then, Smash 4 came out and he was definitely improved. With his improved speed and new dash attack, he was much easier to play, and I played as him much more. Also, his Fierce Deity costume looks amazing. It just looks so cool. So while I don't play as Link much, when I do play as him, I do have a great time. Since Brawl was my first game in the series, Pikachu had to make a good impression to me. After all, I hadn't played a Pokemon game at the time, and when I tried him out, man, his attacks were good, but they were scammed so much online that it just bothered me. But when I got to play the original, I tested him and I liked him a lot more. Like many characters in the game, they had ridiculous knockback with their smash attacks, so it was really good. So I thought he was better. I also liked him in Melee due to the pacing of the game. And then Smash 4 came out, and he, like Link, was improved. His speed can definitely get you out of sticky situations, and he can still do some good damage. Also, like before, his smash attacks are very useful. And while he has the same Final Smash, it is improved due to it being much easier to control. So whenever I go online to play a few matches in Smash 4, I almost definitely at least take one round with Pikachu. But I freaking hate going up against a Pikachu amiibo! If you were a gamer from the 80s, you should know who this guy is. He's a jerk that laughs at you when you miss a duck in Duck Hunt. But once you play as him in Smash Bros., all problems you'll have with him will go away. Well, mostly. In this game, he teams up with the duck from the game to help dish out damage. But since he doesn't fight in Duck Hunt, he uses attacks from classic NES games, mostly those from Hogan's Alley and Wild Gunman. And for smash attacks, the Zapper can attack nearby enemies. Also, his palette swaps are very cool, but I have a few things to say about them. Number 1, if Sakurai reboots the Duck Hunt series like he did with Kid Icarus, please tell me that this guy will be a character. And number 2, is it just me, or does this dog remind me of Banjo-Kazooie? Banjo-Kazooie for Smash 4 DLC. Make it happen, Nintendo! Microsoft's okay with it. Also, they have a sick Final Smash. Basically, some birds come in, and if you get attacked, you're in the middle of a gunfight. It's awesome. So bravo on Sakurai for making a great Jill character. Too bad its announcement was ruined from the Smash 3DS leak. Now before I get killed for putting this guy on the list, first let me explain. Yes, I know that he's a clone of Pit. Yes, I know that there is only one main difference between them, but the thing is, I don't care. Since I enjoy using Pit, just using Dark Pit was fun. Now I will say this, Pit will be coming up later on the list, so I'll go over Dark Pit's moveset then. But now, back to Dark Pit. Since Dark Pit is a clone of Pit and Kid Icarus, I don't get mad that he has a similar moveset to Pit. He's supposed to be like that. And I like some of the minor changes that was given to him. The Electroshock arm is fun to use, and his final smash, while very similar to Sheik and Zelda's, is still good. Also, Dark Pit feels a lot more powerful than Pit, and Dark Pit is one of my personal favorite characters to use online. So while he's a clone, I still like him. You get to play as 3 starter Pokemon that you can switch between. This is genius! Pokemon Trainer lets you switch between Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Each one is completely balanced and fun to use. My personal favorite of the Pokemon is Squirtle because of his speed, allowing you to rack up a bunch of damage, and it makes it fun to annoy people. What I recommend doing is getting a bunch of damage with Squirtle, and then switching out to either Ivysaur or Charizard to send the opponent flying. They also have a really nice final smash. What happens is Pokemon Trainer calls out all 3 Pokemon, and Squirtle uses Hydro Pump, Charizard uses Fire Blast, and Ivysaur uses Solar Beam to dish out a crap ton of damage. So when I heard Smash 4 was being made, I was really hoping that they would get in. And then Charizard was announced to be the only one coming back. Why? Most people I know don't play as Zelda that much, and those who do usually just switch out to Sheik, and I was one of them, until I got my Zelda amiibo, and the playstyle of Zelda just stuck on with me. Because Zelda has the power of the Triforce, she also has the power of gods. She can use Ferora's Wind, which is a good recovery that can also do damage if players are caught up in the attack. She can use Nairu's Love, which can attack enemies nearby and also can reflect projectiles. And probably the best of them, Din's Fire. It's hard to get used to at first, but once you get good at it, it's so satisfying to defeat your enemies. She also is really good with her smash attacks. Because of this, you can send opponents flying. In previous Smash games, what I like to do is use Sheik to dish out damage, and then switch out to Zelda to send the opponent flying. But sadly, in Smash 4, Zelda is separated from Sheik. Dang 3DS limitations. Bowser Jr. was one of my most requested characters for Smash 4. He was even number 5 on my list of characters for Smash 4. Don't watch that list. Ever! So when I saw the Smash 3DS leak, I was excited. Instead of using the paintbrush from Super Mario Sunshine, he attacks in the Koopa Clown card. In it, he can shoot cannonballs, send out Mecha Koopas, and a chain ball to attack enemies. But my favorite move has to be his recovery. He jumps out of the Koopa Clown cart, it explodes, and when Bowser Jr. is in the air, he can swing a sledgehammer that does a bunch of damage and can send opponents flying. I love using this to annoy people online. Also, his final smash deserves a mention. He turns into Shadow Mario, puts paint everywhere, and if you're behind the paint, you'll be sent flying. Also, his alternate costumes are something I want to mention. His costumes are the other Koopalings from the other Mario games. You know what that means, right? Roy's in Super Smash Bros. 4! My favorite costume has to be Ludwig. I don't know why, but I just love it. But I have a few questions, though. How does Junior turn into Shadow Mario without the paintbrush? How does another Koopa Clown Cart respawn? How are the Koopalings able to turn into Shadow Mario? And why is Mario afraid of them when he's defeated all of them 4 times? Who cares, it's video game logic. Super Fighting Robot! Mega Man! That's all I need to prove my point.